All right, so let's take a look at greatest common factor, which is a little bit different here. Okay, greatest common factor. What we're looking for, again, factors are any number which can divide evenly into our number. Okay, so like 10, just kind of going through that. Remember our factors are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Okay, those are our factors of 10. And what we want to do is, when we have two or more numbers, we want to figure out the biggest number that can divide evenly into both of them. Now, there's going to often be more than one common one, but we're looking for the biggest one. So 10, we said before, is 1, 2, 5, and 10. Those are our factors. Now, again, we're just going to look for positive ones. We're not going to worry about negative ones at all. And 20 is 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Now, again, over time you kind of get used to what these are a little bit quicker, but we can kind of just go through what are factors. Now let's look at the common ones. Well, 1 is common, 2 is common, 5 is common, 10 is common. Okay? Meaning that 4 and 20 don't have any common ones there. Now 10 and 20 have a lot of commonalities there, which in fact is because they're, well, similar numbers. 10 goes into 20, which really helps. Okay, but if we look here, the biggest number that is between the two is 10. Okay, this is our greatest common factor, or GCF. It's the largest number that we could divide both 10 and 20 by. Now, there is also a bit of a simpler way of doing this, and that's using prime factorization. Okay. Again, this could be, depending on, again, these numbers here are pretty small, so it should be a little bit simpler. But if we get to a little bit bigger numbers, like 162 and 234, those are bigger numbers and could be a little bit tougher to find. So what we're going to do is we're going to prime factor these. And these are going to take a little bit longer to prime factor. 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now again, I'm kind of cheating off an answer key here. Okay. So hopefully my answer key is right, which would be 2 times 3 to the power of 4. It's 4 3s, 1, 2. 234 is 2 times 3 times 3 times 13, or 2 times 3 squared times 13. Now, with lowest common multiple, we're looking for the biggest power of each. With greatest common factor, we're looking at how many are in common. Okay, and so I'm just going to put that in there as a little note here. How many are in common? Okay. And now we need to kind of take a look and see which ones are common. So there's a 2 that's common. There is a 3 that's common, a second 3 that's common, and that's it. Okay? Those are our commonalities. So those 3 there are going to be our greatest common factor. Now it's important that we don't multiply all 6 of them together, because that would be, well, twice as much as we need to. Okay? We just take the 3 that are in common. 2 times 3 times 3, and this gives us a total of 18, which is our greatest common factor. Now if you want to look at these ones here, okay, we can use powers as well, and it works in a very similar way. In the 2's, there's a 2 in both, and there's 1 2 in each. So we're just going to take 1 2. In the 3's, okay, there's 4 here and 2 here. We're going to take the smallest one now. We're going to take 3 squared. And 13, there isn't in both. There's only in the bottom one, so we're not going to use 13. And so if we do 2 times 3 squared, this is going to give us a total of 18, which again is our greatest common factor. This means that 18 is the biggest factor that fits into both 162 and 234. So if we were going to simplify it, let's say we have a fraction. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do a fraction here. 162 over 234. And we wanted to make that a little simpler. We would divide them both by 18. Okay, so 162 divided by 18 is 9. And 234 divided by 18 is 13. Okay, and so that is a simplified fraction. Okay, it's a simplified fraction. Now you may also notice here, and sorry, that dot should not be there. Okay, when we have the prime factors, you notice that 2, 3, 3 were both used. If we get rid of that, 3 times 3 is 9, 13 is on the bottom. Okay, and that gives us our simplified fraction.